Hello.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am well.
Good, good. Looking beautiful as always.
Thank you. Same to you. I love your hat.
Yes, I am. I love green, so I gotta put it on. I can't see with this background thing, but it's fine.
Yeah,
How
I
was your
see you
week?
wearing Kelly Green. It was pretty good. I had a conference Wednesday through Friday called Together for Families. It was an international conference, and I got to
Okay.
speak on parent leadership and the importance of listening to children and child abuse prevention. It's pretty cool.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You be
Yeah.
traveling all over the place.
It's actually right here in my room.
Okay. That works out even better.
Gotta
Everybody can
love
come to you.
technology.
hmm
Yes.
Technology. Just like
Yes.
us becoming friends. It's right here, wherever
Yeah.
we're at. So today's topic is communication and better ways of communicating with everybody in all parts of your life. Not all people are able to communicate or have been taught to communicate properly. So
Yeah.
you got to communicate effectively.
Yeah, I agree. I have not always been the best at healthy communication. I'll be the first to tell you. I used to look forward to trying to win arguments.
Mm.
And, at this point in my life, I don't argue. So, huge transition there.
I personally love to finish an argument and communicating. Sometimes that's not the best thing to do. Is sometimes you got to listen at some point so you can communicate properly after the fact that the person finished talking to you.
Yeah, yeah. Also, learning how to agree to disagree because I can't force you to take my perspective on. But of course, there were times in the past when you're gonna agree with me, or we're gonna have a problem. Um, I think there's a lot of maturity in realizing that there are different perspectives.
Yes, not just there's different perspectives, but being able to listen to it is a lot. It's a lot because I can hear people constructive criticism, but sometimes I take offense to it, defensive, and that's not the right thing to do.
Yeah, I think you have to ask me if I'm ready for the criticism before you just hand it to me. I'm not always ready to receive that, but I understand
Who
what you're
is
saying.
really? Who is really? Like, to be honest, it's really how you say it to me too.
Yeah, yeah. That's important. What are your thoughts of tone? I believe that some people just come in strong with it and they believe that because they have a good message, you're just supposed to receive it, but they're just stepping all on toes and battering and, throwing you around with the words.
I think tone is a big thing, especially with people that are closest to you.
Oh, yeah.
Um, when somebody that you really care about or what have you says something at a certain tone, you're like, mm, okay. You already
Mm.
know that tone affects my inner, what do you want to call it? Inner diva. I will come out, right? I got friends that have a whole different alter ego when when they snap.
Yeah, yeah. Um, that alter ego thing. You know, it's funny because when I was younger at work, like, I'm sorry.
It's
The
okay.
amount of times that I have spazzed on a boss at work.
Why? Do tell us. Spazzing on folks.
Well, there was one time when I had a supervisor tell me that she didn't like the fact that I was sitting there doing nothing. She didn't like that I was doing nothing, but she totally overlooked the fact that I had finished my workload for the day and I was just sitting there trying to force myself to stay, you know? And so in my 20s, it was a little bit different for me. And I wasn't able to then say, well, I finished everything. And if there's something you want me to do, just let me know.
Right.
What the fuck you mean? you know, I'll just say I've grown as a person. Hey, drunk. Drunk says, in a weird way, I enjoy criticism because I love hearing outside perspectives of myself. Oh, yeah, for sure. As
Mhm.
long as it ain't coming from a hateful place. And so, yeah, sometimes it does feel that way. Like a person is really just trying to throw hate on you. Hey, Natasha, good afternoon. Savage Calm Entertainment and ladies of the panel, good afternoon. Good to see you
Mhm.
all. Um, it is important to be able to have that mirror, placed in front of you, which is
Mhm.
sometimes what that criticism is. And also, sometimes a person's delivery does make you wonder, what's this really all about? Like, do you have a
Right.
problem with me?
That's
You
why the
know?
tone matters. Like you sound like you have more of a problem than what we're talking about. We're talking
Mhm.
about trash, and you're saying, "Ah, ah, ah, ah." Like, bring your voice
Yeah.
down, bring that down,
Yeah.
unless you want to hear my rah rah, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not
Because
coming
it's in
at you like
there.
that.
It's in there.
Right? It's I can rah, so don't
Yeah.
do it. I know I sound half crazy talking about rah rah, but y'all
No, it's
all
true, though.
understand
It's true.
rahs.
So, in a podcast I co-hosted, I was just saying, just in regard to advocating for children and safe spaces, I was just saying it's important to be able to share the message, but I can get loud if I need to. And I meant that genuinely. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not going to be backed into a corner
Exactly.
with words. That's not nice. It's bullying in a way. By the way, y'all coming on at the same time as football is insane, but I rock with y'all. Look at you. Thank you for being here while football is on.
Oh, I
Just
know.
trying to figure out what works.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know.
Drunk was telling me how he's like, K Boogie, you are killing me trying to go have the show during football. I was like, yeah, but
Yeah.
if you really care, Drunk, you'll be here. Thank you very much.
And he is. He is. You always show up. We appreciate you.
Mhm.
Uh, I would be open to looking at a different time that isn't get children ready for the school week time, because what I realize is it makes a huge difference.
It really
Um,
is.
oh, there's an invitation for some people to come join us here on the panel. So Drunk says at work I don't take anything personal because it's all about money to me, but outside of work I take a little bit of everything personal. That's hilarious. Um, at this point, I would say I take a lot less personal all around.
Mhm.
But back then, I was just coming from a different place anyway. Um, kind of like that inability to see myself in any way and not wanting to hear about me from anyone else either. In my
Right, right,
20s,
right. I think we've
I
all
knew
been that
everything.
age or that mentality where it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know who you think you're talking to me, but you didn't give birth to me. I used to say stuff like that to my managers. You didn't give birth to me. You don't pay no bills at my house. So I
Yeah.
think you need to just come away with a little better way of saying things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Feel
definitely.
you. Feel you.
I worked within the school system, and them parents, mm-mm, mm-mm,
Yeah.
in the nurse's office, and the mother would come in talking about, did I really have to pick up my kid? No, you don't have to pick him up. DCF will. Don't worry
I
about it.
swear. Like, what do you mean?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. If that's what you asking me, that's why communication is important. If you're really asking me, do I
Yeah.
really have to pick up my kid and you're already here? That means no, you're right. DCF, they can pick him up.
You're not ready to be a parent then, in
Mm-hmm.
that case. Yeah.
Talking
I
about
do.
retest them. Okay. Because I got time. The bell didn't ring.
Let's see. Natasha says, drunk agreed. Critique is fine from someone who has your best interest or at least a shared goal in mind. For sure. I agree too. And drunk says, whether I voice my opinion about it or not. Facts, Natasha. Women, y'all always been like that at work and school. Y'all will go off on anybody. I can't play with my future like that. I feel like men are a little bit more worried about the consequences. Um, Is that really, can all women really do that? Do women get fired and held accountable? Hi, Sheena. Hey, hope everyone is good. We are good, Sheena. I hope you're good. Well, I'm good. I can speak for me. I can't speak for Kay.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm awake, alert. I think
Yeah.
I'm not drunk
Yeah.
anymore.
Happy Sunday.
Yay.
Yeah. There's a link there in the chat for the ladies to come join the panel if you would like to. We would love to have you come and share your perspectives. And please do share this episode so that other people can tune in. Remember to like and subscribe. Okay, so uh what about the silent treatment?
Oh, the silent treatment.
Dun dun dun.
Now, for me as a parent,
Yeah.
when I say something to my children and then I'm quiet thereafter, They know that I'm serious.
Okay.
But the silent treatment, like when it comes to a man not answering something or feel like, oh, I don't have to talk to you, but I can still be around you. I do not like that. That is not a good way to communicate with me.
Uh, I don't like the silent treatment, and I have given the silent treatment. So I used to be an expert ghoster,
Okay.
and yeah, mainly because if I didn't like where it was going, I was just going to erase you with no conversation or anything else. But I was kind of bad at it after a while because I would unghost. You can't ghost and unghost. That just doesn't make sense.
Wait, you went
Um,
back from thereafter?
I had issues. Okay, I had to work through some decision making skills, and sticking with my decision to ghost or not ghost.
You're like,
At this
I was just playing. I was just playing. I'm interested.
um, something like that, but more like that's how I felt then, and right now that's not how I feel, and I may feel differently in a couple of weeks. I might block you again. So I've gotten better about not doing that. Okay, all right, that was just really toxic. But as far as silent treatment, now I prefer to talk through what the issue is. It does not have to be that persistent right now, let's get it over with type of conversation,
Uh-huh.
but it definitely doesn't need to be swept under the rug or, treated as if it's not there. Let's
Right,
see,
right.
Drunk said, I don't like arguing, so I'll definitely use silent treatment as a response to when you do something I'm not feeling. My silent treatment is a warning. I'm about to ghost you. So let me ask you, why do you not just give the warning? I don't like this, and I'm getting close to just cutting you off.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have gotten someone close to me in that manner where the warning did come out and I did not heed the warning, and then they had to ghost me for a minute too. So it's like you can hear the warning sometime too, and be like, nope, you really aren't saying anything to me, so I need to come at you a little bit longer. I think
Yeah,
Keisha is trying to join. It says
yeah, it
her
looks
name.
like it.
All right.
Awesome. I have in the past heard warnings and ignored them as well, but I've also been warned and then totally ghosted them myself. Like,
Right.
let me just do this for you, okay? Drunk said, I feel like giving the warning is too much of an emotional response, and I can't give you that satisfaction of verbally knowing you pushed my button. In some circumstances, I can see that being the case. When it's someone you are really close to, though, I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know. It just seems like there would want to be some sort of common ground, just so there's some understanding. You can't say I
Mhm.
didn't tell you. You know. I do get what you're saying. Hey, ladies, let's get the like up, chat family. Yeah, y'all do like and subscribe or share. Let people know what's going on. And
There's a little
yeah.
box right here telling you guys exactly what you need to do in the chat. Chat. Since I'm not in the chat, they're drunk. You gotta chat it up there.
Yeah, chat lives matter. Hey,
Uh-huh.
Keisha, how you doing?
Keisha, dear, are you there? Okay. All right. Well, I'm not sure. I know that she has some weather going on where she is at. So the storm is passing through Texas.
Okay, stay
What do you
safe out
think?
there.
How do you think we can learn how to communicate? Like better ways of communicating to someone?
Um, well, I think that therapy is always going to be a good move. I'm big on therapy, but I also, believe it or not, have found so many different things on YouTube
Hmm.
and on the Googles. What's the best way to communicate when such and such and so? And I know that there's not a one size fit all mode of
Right.
communication, but I think you definitely need to come from a place of maybe some basics. For example, let's see. Let me see what Sir Google has to say about this. Keisha, you are welcome to chime in while I'm Googling communication styles and whatnot.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know what the heck is going on over here. So what are we talking about today?
Communication. And at this very moment, we're talking about different styles of learning to communicate better.
Oh, Jesus have mercy.
So
That's
you
a
call,
tough one. That's
so you call on Jesus, huh? You call on
yeah,
Jesus.
you have to.
Hmm.
Well, let me start with the 5 types of communication. One is verbal communication.
Okay.
One is nonverbal communication, right, where you say more with what you don't say. The
Hmm.
third one is written communication. The fourth one is listening. And the fifth one is visual communication. I'm going to mute so I can communicate to my child right now.
There
I'm
you
going to
go.
listen to you all.
In a calm manner
Mm,
that she
yep.
understands.
Yep.
I understand.
BRB.
Okay. Love it. And you can see the mom look too. Um, so Keisha,
Yes.
how do you feel you can learn how to communicate better to someone? Let's say
Um,
let's use like your daughter as an
hmm,
example.
that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes your facial expression says a lot. If that your facial expression can, oh God, it can do a lot. And I think sometimes I talk with my facial expressions.
I'm glad you talked about facial expressions. You know how I go dead face. People think that I'm not interested. I don't know what happens with my face. It just does that. So it's funny that you say that because people misread what I'm saying because my face changes quickly.
Yes, and then sometimes a person's look on their face, it'll make it seem, as Black women, it always comes off as if we're mad, and that's not the case. And I think we often are misread all the time by facial expressions. I can communicate verbally.
Uh-huh.
But when you live in a state where I live, people think that if you're raising your voice high, if your pitch is elevated, that you're yelling. When you're not yelling, you're just having a basic conversation. So I think it's just learning tones and stuff like that.
We talked about that. We talked about the whole tone thing, and tones matter for me and for Sanaa. It it matters, and we can give it back off. We were talking about how I roar at people if they're roaring at me. Drunk, you like me more on the screen? That's a good thing. Drunk says, since this is a lady stream, I feel most women. I feel most women in an argument when I do try to communicate, y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all only want to hear yourselves respectfully. It's not that we want to hear ourselves. It's just that we want the whole thought to come out. So if we're not done with our thoughts, then it seems like we're just trying to hear ourselves.
But then that statement that he made, it can also go against guys as well, because guys do not, I feel sometimes they don't value our opinions or our thoughts. And sometimes it's either their way or no way. So it can go both ways. Some women don't like there are some women that would prefer to argue, whereas there's other mature people who don't want to argue. You know, they just want to have a basic conversation to get some type of understanding. And I think either party, sometimes both parties just don't know how to communicate that where it comes off effectively.
I think that's the biggest issue where both parties don't know how to effectively communicate. Because honestly, whether you're a man or a woman, I don't want to stand around listening to you talk nonstop. And if you're long winded, you might lose me. I have ADHD. But because of that, when I'm sharing mine, I
Mm-hmm.
I might get long winded too and start rambling because again, I have ADHD. So really, when I have something to say, I just start writing my points out and try to stick to the basics so that it is not just me wanting to hear myself respectfully drunk.
Now, do you do that when you're in a heated conversation with a man?
These
A lot of
days,
them.
yeah, I do. I don't have the heated conversations anymore. I can't do it because first of all,
There's the wind.
okay, because I know my mouth, and although my ability to control my mouth has
Mm-hmm.
matured a lot, it still is what it is. And
Mm-hmm.
then I have all these words that people don't understand. And
Exactly.
then I have all these jabs that are going to land exactly where they need to land. So I just rather not because it's not fair. I don't fight fair.
I'm extremely sarcastic. Extremely. So if I'm having a conversation that got heated, I will say some sarcastic. And I used to work for the telephone company, so my voice can go totally monotone that people are like, is she mad at me? Did she really just say that about my mom, my dad? She don't even know my family like that. But I was taught the dozens, so I know how to come for you and everybody around you. So just don't try me, that type of thing. I just don't like to be tried. Even with
So
my
you go
kids,
for
though.
the juggler.
Yeah, even my kids, I'm like, I already said what I said, and now you must have got that. Now, see, we do talk about trauma with the kids, but I do say you must have got that from your dad because right now you don't make no sense. I do say stuff like that to my children from time to time. Well, I should say
So
my older two.
Drunk dated a woman who never communicated when she had a problem with something that he did in person, but would wait until they weren't together and then send him a 3-page text. I don't want to judge that because I don't know where it's coming from. What was her life like in arguments before you? Did it turn into fights? Did she not know how to express her thoughts in words? Was she making an effort to not? I don't know. Well, give us more. Give us more about that. But I actually had an ex that would do that too, and I hated it. I hated it with a passion. Like we'd be right beside each other and he would be beside me sending these long, stupid texts, but not say anything when I would respond with words. And I don't know, for me, that was just like a huge red flag as far as communication issues. But then I learned later on, y'all don't judge, that he was LD and he actually didn't have the ability to communicate these thoughts out loud.
Okay.
So and that happens more often than we know. People have a deficiency and don't really have the ability to properly express or find the words or beat me at the dozens.
Articulate words properly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you don't have time for it, I'll come for you. You want
Excuse
to read
me.
Natasha's?
Yeah. So Natasha said, my discipline practice for next January is to talk less, communicate effectively with less words. This past January, it was a month of cold showers. Not sure which is going to be harder. That's hilarious.
Some cold showers. You had to calm myself down, huh?
Yeah. Drunk
I get
said,
it.
I'm not sure, but it's weird. I would get the text and just call her. She wouldn't answer until I replied to the text. Specifically, what she had an issue with. That is hilarious.
She didn't want to get yelled at. I'm sorry. That's what I'm
Yeah,
reading. Is
that's what
she
I'm
didn't want to get yelled
thinking.
at. She's like, let me tell you what I was thinking like 7 days ago, but
Yeah.
I don't really want to be, And then drunk might just be that dude where it's like, I don't want to lose you, so I'm gonna just write it down and send
That's
it to
funny.
you.
But
That's
sometimes when you're in a heated argument, you have to take a step back. And sometimes you do. I know for me, I need a day or two. Because if I say everything that I want to say, I'm going to hurt your feelings. And I don't want to hurt your feelings. So I need to take a step back. And yeah, I'm that type of person. I'll send you a text. If you don't want to read it, you can delete it. That's fine. But at least I know I said it. Because sometimes when you want to have a discussion in person, people don't want to hear what you have to say. And it's just going to be more arguing. And that's exhausting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it would hurt to say, is now a good time to talk about this?
That's
And
true.
if you are in a relationship, it's not like, okay, what has always gotten me is where every discussion that is about an issue has to be a precursor to a breakup. Why?
Thank you. Thank
Why
you.
can't we talk, hash through it, or not hash through it, come back to it another time when we both have a different perspective or feel differently? Maybe not revisit and agree to disagree. Like there's so many different ways to do this. So Scom TV says I'm holding a communication class soon. Natasha says, oh yeah, where does one register? I feel the same way. Where does one register for this class? Always step back and assess the situation. That's very important. And that's important whether you're in the heat of the moment or whether you're just stewing over something, because I think both of those can be detrimental when you're going at it right now or when you've been holding on to this for the past week or two and it's
Agreed.
time to unleash.
Agreed. But I feel like if you don't say it, then the person doesn't even know that it's bothering them.
Precisely.
That's important. Like I need to say everything. And sometimes I don't need to say anything at all, but I try to say everything because I want you to know right then I disagree with it. This is how I feel about it. So you don't do that again.
Yeah.
And it's bad sometimes. Because if I what were you gonna say?
No, I'm just looking at Drunk's comment that says, if every time we communicate it's about an issue with us, it's time for me to bounce. Possibly. Or maybe just fix the issue, especially if it's the same issue every time you talk, right? Um, I don't like that you don't let me know that you made it home safely after you've been out getting drunk all night, for
Thank you.
example.
Thank you.
If I have to keep saying that to you and I keep not knowing that you made it home safely, for example, then it might be time for me to bounce. Not because I'm your mom, but because there's something about me that knows. Now that I know, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I don't want to get that phone call. Maybe because of some things that I've been through. I don't want to hear that he didn't make it and I didn't get to have that conversation. You know what I mean? So while I may need to work through that, when I communicate it to my loved one, for example, and my loved one still doesn't say, you know what? Let me just shoot a text. I'm going to send a home emoji,
Yep.
right? 2 seconds.
Hint, hint, hint. Did you get
You
the
get
hint?
what I'm saying, right?
Right.
And then that takes a different direction. And it may also allow for unlocking a new level of the relationship, depending on how it's handled.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how I would be now. Honestly, it's been so long since I had a heated discussion with a man, besides my father, you know. And even with my father, it's like that's my father. So I'm
Right.
not going to go too far, and neither is he. And I'm still going to say it with my chest because that's who he raised me to be. And he's still going to respond in the way that, he taught me to respond. So we're still having a healthy discussion, even though I may feel my bristles going up. you know?
I cannot have a heated conversation with my dad because he was a preacher. So his
Yeah.
voice is boom boom. So I do make facial expressions. And the funny thing was, just like maybe a month ago, he goes, and my name is Kaylin. So it's like, Kaylin, I'm tired of your faces. I'm so tired of your faces. Can you just go somewhere with your face? Turn your head if you feel some type of way. I'm like, turn my head. And then I said, because like I said, I come back. So I was like, if there's something wrong with my face, it's because you and mommy, not me, because you guys made this face. I had nothing to do with the making of this face. So why are you coming for me? And he's like, well, you make facial expressions. So do y'all. Can you see your face? I can't see my face. Do I need to walk around with a mirror? He was like, can you just go home? I'm like, all right.
Shit. Oh, shit.
That's exactly how he ended it because he was like, I'm not playing with you
Yeah.
either. Can you just go home?
Yeah. And that was the last time I went to see my father.
Right,
No,
exactly. Thank
Drunk.
God for technology because that's the only time I
Like,
talk.
what? Drunk said, I do have a hard time thinking about why is somebody like this. I just focus on I don't like it, I'm out. Yeah, that's just a little bit about growth more than anything else and that empathy factor, Scum TV said sometimes if you step back and you think about the situation, you might come to a conclusion that you don't even need to say what you're about to say, which will start an argument. And that's maturity. That's growth. You know what I mean? It's really important to have that part. And again, that empathy piece, you know what I mean? Everything doesn't need to be, you don't have to get everything off, I don't think.
So I have a question, ladies. How does that work in the workplace? Because, I have a lot that I want to get off my chest at work. And I know you can't say everything, say how you're feeling. But y'all are laughing. If y'all can see my face on the other end, I'm laughing thinking about it. But it's serious. Like, how do you navigate that in the workplace? Because it's different with your family than it is with your boss or something. It's like you have stuff because for me, I don't care who you are. I can't stand a liar. I hate it. And when I know that you're lying to me, I want to question you about that lie. But how do you do it with an employer?
I'm not about to question you about no lie. I'm going to show up with the receipts, tell you what I know, and ask how we're going to deal with it. We're
Okay,
not
but
about to dance around it.
I did that. Okay, I quoted what was said to us, had backup, and the manager, he looked at me like if I had doo-doo on my face, like literally. He did. He said, I don't recall saying that. And I said, well, didn't he say that? And it's like every time he talks, he lies. And I just want to, oh, Lord knows. I don't know. But I know
That sounds pathological.
he is a pathological liar. Seriously.
Have you talked to HR?
They don't do nothing.
Okay.
They don't do nothing.
See, for me, that would be I'd be looking for something else. And
Oh,
I
that's
realize
yeah.
we have different circumstances.
Yeah, that's what I'm in the process of doing because I'm like, I can't deal with, I just don't like liars, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't like liars, and I've walked away from jobs.
Yeah.
Actually,
No, yeah.
I have totally walked away from a job. Like I said, I worked within the school system, and in my case, we're having a full conversation, me and the other nurse, and we're talking about the situation that's happening outside in the school. And for some reason, my boss calls me and she's like, "Can you come to the office?" And I was like, "Well, just tell me what I'm coming to the office for because you're on the phone already." So we're sending emails to each other, and she's like, "I was told that you were talking about stuff that you had no business talking about." And I said, "If I'm talking about it, is there someone else talking with me, or was I just sitting and mumbling out loud?" And she goes, "No, you were talking to so and so." And I was like, "So that sounds like a dialogue. That doesn't sound like just Kay's talking about it." And what was their rebuttal to me saying such and such? And she goes, "Well, she feels uncomfortable." Okay, then she needed to say that because we're
Period.
grown women. Like, it doesn't even make sense. If she
Oh, don't get
feels
me started.
uncomfortable, then she needs to say it.
So she tattled on you instead of saying, I don't feel comfortable having this conversation. That's the stuff I don't like.
Right.
Because say it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to spaz. I'm not going to flip. I'm not going to get angry. I'm going to say thank you for sharing your thoughts and your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't agree, I'm going to agree to disagree. Now, it took me a while to learn how to do that. I will be honest. Like I said, I was not always the agree to disagree kind of person, but it takes a lot of heart to say what you need to say to a person's face. And so
Mm-hmm.
I respect that before any other thought or feeling I have about it. Scum TV says, I've learned that words, tones, patience, and calm thoughts can get all points across and info found. I totally agree with you. If used properly, totally agree with you. And
Mm-hmm.
Drunk said, at work, I communicate in a very nice way. But how about at home, Drunk? How you communicating to your woman that got to send 4-page texts? I want to know more about that.
Apparently, he don't stick around to find out. He just be out. He keeps saying every
Oh,
time
she got
Drunk
an
talks,
issue. It's over.
he needs to be. His name needs to be out, not drunk. Because he's like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm
So,
out.
okay, when the person told on you, what did they think was going to happen for them tattletaling? Because see, that's I don't like you're at work, you're an adult. If I can't have a conversation with you without you saying something, then you shouldn't even come over. If you felt that bad, you should have just said, "Well, I'm not comfortable," and then I would have said, "Okay, I understand that, but you're not a part of this conversation." I feel like people do that on purpose just to get you
Mm-hmm.
into trouble.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's so
Well,
petty.
in
Oof.
my situation, I said, "Okay, how do you want to handle this?" With my boss, and she says, "Well, come in and tell me your side." And I was like, "Well, I would like to know her side." And she's like, "Please don't say nothing to her." And I said,
Sure.
"Why?" She goes, "Because she says she left in the message that she didn't want it to be a hostile environment if she told on me." And I said, "Well, um if it becomes a lie, then she becomes a liar, and we're sitting in a room and I can't trust her, and she's thinking I'm hostile. So I don't think this is really going to work." And she was like, "What does that mean?" I said, I told her my age. Now, this is my boss. I told her my age. I told her that the most important thing is my children, and I don't have time for people to be lying on me as a grown up. I don't come into work. I'm not her friend. We work together. We're co-workers,
Period.
not friends. I mean, I don't need them, like that. So
Yeah.
she says, "Okay, but I think I have to write you up. If you think you have to write me up, write me up. But I think I might need another job because you're saying you're taking her side over my side, and that ain't gonna work for me because I'm not sitting here talking to myself. We're having a dialogue." And let me tell you what she thought. Oh, wait, that sounds stupid, right? Just because you're telling one person's thought. So therefore, I left. 2 weeks, I was out.
No, yeah, for real. Because if the other lady came and told her that after not even having a conversation with you, I'm
Right.
just wondering how many other conversations have y'all sat around and had? But that's a whole nother discussion.
Behind me.
Uh,
Exactly.
Scum TV said raw communication at home. Drunk says at work I don't have a problem communicating to people because we're trying to get something done. I feel you. I live by myself. I don't got communication at home. That's hilarious. And the 4-page text woman, I had to let her go. She had too many issues. She was cute though, but cute gets old after a while. Okay, I hear you.
So I have a question about the lady who told on you. Are y'all the same race?
No, we are not the same race.
And the reason, no, okay. So the reason I'm going to tell you guys the reason why I asked that question.
Wait, because of the word hostile? Oh no, go ahead.
Yes, I'm serious because here in the South, I promise you, you have a lot of so here it's very diverse, but the job that I work at, there's more of our people and more our people, maybe a couple of the others, and a lot of Hispanic people.
Mm-hmm.
So our manager, he's like that. He'll say exactly this conversation that he's had with you, your supervisor had with you, Kaylin. He'll come and say, well, I don't want it to be hostile. Don't come to me with anything stupid before you say and so we had to ask them, why do you guys always think that all Black people are hostile?
That's weird. Because we respond to you?
Right.
I'm sorry.
But no, you're correct though, because it's like they don't want us to have a voice. I swear it's going back to how do I say it without saying it? You know, back in the day with our ancestors.
Like never happened. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. That's what I was asking. I kind of figured that was the case.
Hey, Lady Navoa. I don't know how to say your name, but it's good to see you here. How you doing? Navoa. Okay, cool. So we got some spam. We're gonna find love on the best dating site.
Right. So we definitely need to get rid of that.
Let's see. Drunk said, every time I ever broke up with someone, it's been through text. If I try to do it in person, we're going to end up back together. Maybe y'all shouldn't break up then. That's hilarious. Strolling through said, because we look hostile with our responses. Hey, you know what? I understand that. I do have some facial expressions. Even that blank face can be taken as a threat in certain situations.
True.
Drunk said, y'all ever have the person over you at work, give you the wrong instructions and be mad at you for doing it the wrong way they told you? Yes, absolutely. And don't tell them they told you wrong, but yes, the hell you did.
No, they don't like it. They don't like that. They hate that. Don't correct them. It's like, you can't correct me. It is whatever I say goes. I'm sorry, you got the wrong person because I wasn't made that way.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, I've actually had it happen several times with my supervisor on this job. However, she didn't get mad. I had her walk me through it again, so we didn't, keep having these mishaps. Lady Navoa said, "Thank you. That's it. You just did." Okay. So,
I think the spam is gone. I didn't know if you were still reading the chat. I'm sorry.
I mean, I was going to try to figure out the dating site. Like, what you mean?
Oh no, you didn't. That's probably what they heard. Nope. You don't want to do none of that. Don't do that. Acting up.
I don't know. I heard some great things about dating sites. At least you don't have to worry about the communication being bad communication because you can just block the person, right?
But it might be phony.
That's true.
It's a lot of phoniness going on them websites. I mean, just on your regular personal websites, everybody's trying to hack in. They have multiple pages and it's not them, it's somebody else. It's just dangerous nowadays.
Yeah. Lady Navoa said, nope, go out to places and meet in person. I hear you. Now listen, these days, when you go out and meet in person, do you feel the need to keep something on you just in case the communication goes left? And what I mean by that is if you decide, okay, this person's cool, but I don't really want to go any further than this, and you make an effort to share that, I guess, in a very neutral and kind and empathetic way, do you feel safe doing that? Do you feel safe communicating in that way? Because honestly, a lot of times I don't.
And telling them that it's not going to work?
Yeah, I feel nervous about, I don't know.
Carry some mace with you.
I'm not going to talk about what I carry, but
I'm listening. Where I live at, they're packing down here, so I'm pretty sure it's a gun or something else.
I like variety.
You like variety of things?
I like the variety. Yes.
I'm not mad at you. Hey, you got to protect yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. You do. Drunk said he got catfished one time and never did dating apps again. She was way better in the picture than in real life. And now that's actually happened to me before. He was definitely very handsome in the picture, and
Okay.
I didn't even let him know I was there. I couldn't do it. I was just like,
Oh,
okay,
you saw him?
yeah, if somebody would trick you that badly, see, I feel like that's a person that would hurt you if you turned them down. I don't know. I don't know.
Exactly.
With all serious, I have a coworker whose friend, she met someone off the line, and the guy said he was in the military and all of this stuff. She sent him her paycheck, and I was like, why did she do that? She was like, because he said he needed money. I said, they get paid on the 1st and the 15th.
Child.
She gave him $3,000, sent him, well, she didn't give it to him. She sent him a receipt. He used the receipt from an Apple gift card and took money from her bank account. No, I wouldn't do it.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
That's crazy. I
It
don't know.
is.
Ain't nobody getting my
It's
paycheck
crazy.
but the bills.
I work too hard for my money.
I don't even
Right.
work hard, but nobody's getting my money.
It's
but
you
the
do.
bills.
Being a parent, you
I
still work.
gotta get about the bed to do some work. That's working hard. Lady
Okay, then I
Navo
work
said,
hard.
Lady Navo said, was it her? Drunk, was that the person that catfished you? Was it the same person? Drunk said, damn, Sanaa. He was like that. It's like that a lot, Drunk. You know, men be catfishing just like women do, and
They
they
do.
really do.
They
And
do.
Lady Navoa says she's dumb. She knew better. Let's see. Sheena said making a face is enough. In regards to which part, like the making the communication and getting your point across part. I don't know. Sometimes people don't take my faces the way they should either, but I think I've gotten a lot better with that. Kay talks through her eyes. Yes,
I do, but sometimes people exactly they hear something else.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I go dead face, and I told other people, I go dead face because I was in church so much. My mom would say, "Don't look at that person," or "Straighten your face, don't laugh." You know, I mean, there was church people tripping. You know, they were in the spirit, and then they would trip and fall. That's funny. And then I have to go straight face.
He said that's funny.
I mean, you got me sitting on the pew for hours.
That's not even funny because I used to hate my mom used to do that. You see somebody shouting and then they doing something wrong, you start laughing and they pinching you. Like
Hey,
y'all did
Sister
it.
Bernice done lost her wig and y'all sitting here giggling.
Exactly.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
They have
Hey,
it.
Lady Navo, welcome to the panel.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, I want to say y'all silly. Sister Bernice lost her wig when she.
Wait,
But
did you say Bernice?
Sister
yeah,
Bernice done tripped and fell while she was shouting. Yes.
See, that was my grandmother's name, and that happened to her. See, so don't talk about
Oh,
Sister Bernice.
wow.
did her
I be knowing.
did
I
her,
be
did her dentures come out too when she hit the pew?
Nope, that was the other grandmother that had dentures. My grandma Bernice always had her teeth, you know. So it's the
Oh my
other.
God.
Wow.
See, I see why your mama said that because you probably was lighting it up.
Well, I mean, I'm sitting there for hours. We had Sunday school, then regular service, then afternoon service, and then my parents were counting the money at the end. Come on now, I've been
So
sitting
you
here
tried.
all day.
Yeah. You
Then it
have
turns into
scars.
comedy. It's a comedy show. After a
Yeah.
while,
Can I say something?
What's up?
Okay, I want to comment on what y'all said and what I had comment. Shout out to the people who on the dating sites. Please, if you doing dating sites, be smart.
Yeah.
To that lady who did her whole paycheck, she done. She knew better. She wasn't that stupid.
she desperate. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah.
She really
Somebody,
was. She didn't. She honestly, like, she
hold on.
didn't.
Somebody
She
in her family taught her something.
Mhm.
She ain't that dumb. I don't believe nobody in this world is that slow to the world that they didn't get no teaching, because if you didn't get it at home, you learned something somewhere, because I got home training. I'm a wife. I was trained, my whole family mostly are married. And you don't see that. And I did something a long time ago when I was younger, but it wasn't for a dated thing. It was to get more money. But I learned my lesson after that. I was young and dumb, but when you out there and you trying to date, go out there, dress up nice, look nice. You know what I'm saying? So when you out there, look natural. Don't put a lot of bullshit on. You know what I'm saying? All those wigs. It look like if he wake up in the morning, it's the same person type of, look. So they can see who you are. Because the bad you, they always say is better. And if you fall in love with the bad, you think you look bad, then that's the best. But anyways, go out somewhere, look nice. Put a dress on, a skirt, something nice. Be presentable. Let the man guess what's under your clothes. Don't
Hey,
how you dress. You
yeah,
gotta be a lady. If you
yeah.
want, you know what I'm saying, we gotta get these girls out there right again, because they out there looking
Hmm.
crazy. They got
Yeah.
bull nose rings, long ass hairs that they know that our culture don't have. You know what I'm saying? It ain't down to your ankles. No culture is really that. Every female in that culture got their hair down to their ankles and past their ass. Come on now, love
We
who you
we
are.
can have long hair. We can have
It's,
long
it's,
hair.
it's, it's, it's some
We
it's
can
some
have
people
long
in our
hair.
culture with some, I done had it down the back in my
Ain't
lifetime.
nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, if you want a man to see you for who you are, be yourself first.
Yeah, yeah.
Then do that.
So
Don't
do
do
you?
it first, and then when he wake up in the morning, you something else, and he wanna
Who is this?
uh,
Yeah,
he sneaking
yeah,
slowly from under you, so you won't wake up to dip out on you and ghost your ass, and you wonder why. That's why.
yeah.
And
Um,
you know why ladies ain't got men? Because they don't want to do the work. And I'm gonna get down to it. I just have to say that. But they don't want to do the work. If they like a man, they interested, and the man asks them questions, and they answer
Mhm.
questions, and then they ask the man questions to want to know what the man like, right? Why ask him questions to see what he like if you ain't trying to willing to apply to it? Like if he say he don't like this and that, and you tell him your dislikes and likes or whatever, yada yada, and he's willing to work on it. Is it wrong for you not to work on that either? Just we were just on the panel. I just listened to a panel that was talking about, do men create chameleon? You know,
that's
you
deep.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You have to get it
yeah.
and do it. You got to do the work. If that's what you like and you want to look like a excuse my language, and the Father God in the name of Jesus, please don't let this channel get canceled. If you want to look like a drag queen as a woman, go ahead.
Because I knew you was going there. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes.
But if you don't like, go ahead. I ain't gonna lie, you scare me sometimes, and I don't even
Mm,
know it until you start.
Mhm.
Well, go
yeah,
ahead. If
yeah,
that's your thing, you think that's cute, it's not. But go ahead.
yeah.
All that makeup on your face, and you ain't mama nowhere getting no check. Stop.
So, Lady Navoa, is it true to say that that is a form of communication too? Like you
Yeah.
don't like yourself, you don't put so much makeup on, now you look like a drag queen and you were a woman
This
prior.
telling you what that you look like when you do
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, I
You
just
also
want to take a minute to acknowledge the chat because you know the chat lives matter. And
you will.
so going back to Sheena, she said that you, Kay, you say bitch please with your face, period. Okay. And Drunk asked, do y'all have no limitation on communication with friends, or do you kind of hesitate before you say some things? You know what? With my true friends, I can say what I need to say, and I'm always going to say it respectfully because those are my friends, and they're always going to hear what I'm saying because those are my friends. People who aren't my friends, it's a little bit more, tricky when I'm saying what I need to say. Kay does look like she talks to her eyes, don't it? Scum TV with all them eyeballs. Drunk said, what I found with dating apps is it's literally just sex, which was fun at first, but I'm like, damn, this feels like some assembly line shit. And I definitely understand that too. He says, I'm very nostalgic on meeting women in real life because I love the remember when we met energy. And that's real. I definitely resonate with that. Scum TV says, y'all get them likes up. And yes, please do like, share, make sure you subscribe. And Drunk says, a lot of women just look better without makeup. Not all, but some. I just really prefer prefer natural. I definitely feel that. Now, when I have to perform on stage, for example, though, sometimes I do have to do it because stage lights, they highlight a lot of things that I don't necessarily want to see in the
Mhm.
playback. Like I have hyperpigmentation, which I don't mind at all. There are different parts of my face that are a little darker, some are a little lighter, and that's cool. That's who I am. That's how God made me. But when I'm doing a show, it looks a little bit different. It doesn't look like pleasing or flattering. So I definitely
Correct.
have to, do some type of, but like Lady said, if that's not what you're out here doing, why you got a mask on? I call it a mask.
True.
And I just say, take that mask off. You know what I mean? Take that mask off. That is a form of communication.
I don't wear makeup because I'm afraid that when I do, it's gonna rain and then my whole eye is gonna be down here type thing. The shadow is gonna be over this way. It gonna make no sense whatsoever. Like I have these big eyes, and when I put eyeliner on, I look like a raccoon. So that's not gonna help. That's not flattering to me. To me, it looks like a raccoon, so that's not flattering. So I'm like, this is Kay. This is who she is. This is how she got here. That type of thing. I don't like the bags. I can tell you that much. But I'm real. So therefore, I communicate that this is the real her. Can I put on makeup? Probably with somebody that really wants to work on it, but every day, that's not gonna be. That's not gonna be me. I'm not gonna be putting on makeup every single day unless I have to.
That can't be good for your skin anyway. Skin is an organ that has to breathe, right? So
Mhm,
everything has to breathe, including your face skin, right?
Point you just
mhm.
taking it
Getting
up with
back to
the pores.
this, go ahead.
Yeah, you just caking up the pores. I was agreeing with you.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So, getting back to this communication style thing, how do you tell a woman that you love, whether you're a woman or a man? Um, I believe that you're doing too much as far as the makeup and the weave and the lashes. Is it your place to say that? And if you do say it, are you coming from a place of love? Or are you coming from a place of, girl, stop that shit?
Well, when you communicate, like I said before, in the beginning, when you go on dates, you ask questions. Because a date is basically if you want to get married and you dating with intent, your focus on getting to know who this person is.
Mhm.
So that's the point of asking questions. And I've been seeing lately, like in last year in the past, it was going viral. How you mean when they ask the men, ask the women what they bring to the table, and the women used to get angry. They've been doing that since the beginning of time. They just changed it to what you bring to the table. They want to know what you're about because they want to know who they're gonna marry. When you dating, that's your pre-trial to get in that ring.
Hmm.
And that's when you can say, "Oh, Kevin Samuel saying you exercising your options." When you married, exercise your options don't count.
Hmm.
I don't agree. When you married, that's you don't do that. That's called cheating, adultery, straight.
Yeah.
Incentivized.
Exercising options, definitely.
Yeah.
When you're
Well,
with,
how about the body language? How about the body language? How do you communicate with body language? I am what people like to call standoffish, and I am intentionally standoffish because I don't want to miscommunicate with any type of body language. So I
Right.
just pull it all in and I say it all with my words and my face. What about you all?
eyes, like you said, your facial expression. I say eyes and your body language because how you dress and how you stand and how you walk, a man can tell you got your head on your shoulders, and he gonna look at your hands and your nails. And he, you know what I'm saying? They look at the little things that you don't think they looking at. You think he looking at your butt all the time, mostly. Some of them usually do, but a real man want to look at what you are, who you are.
Lady Navoa, she said body language, not your body.
Right.
He talking about the body. He's not.
That's
So
body language. You heard me
you
say,
think that's body language? I apologize. That's your perspective on it, and you're absolutely right. So
Dan, you
maybe
know,
it's the way you're rocking it.
that's what the man's saying. I'm telling you, you gotta know what the man want, girl. When you going out there to get your man, you gotta know what they want and be prepared. Get dressed. You like this is what they like. Okay, I'm gonna go get my man today. In the way you walk, if we see you walking, now if you walking too hard, like your collapse, slow down. You trying too hard. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Don't hurt yourself. Just be
Okay,
relaxed.
it sounds like you have a little bit of a different perspective about
I do. Thank you for asking. I do. I like to dress for K. Now I will ask whoever I'm dealing with if they like when I meet you, I'm dressing for K. I will ask if you like skirts or whatever, what have you. Okay, I might purchase 2 of them mugs because, like I said, I was in church when I was younger, so we're not wearing a whole bunch of skirts and stuff. But I ask what you prefer, and then we work accordingly. But I'm not worried about if I'm walking wrong because he may not like it, and I don't know who he may be if I'm going out there just to find a man, and I'm not trying to find a man. A man should be trying to find me, not vice versa, because that's too hard. That's too much work. I need to be hunted. That I'm still
I
old school.
mean, if you're a Bible reading person, which although I'm not Christian and didn't grow up Christian, I still know the word says a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So if he's finding me, I'm not necessarily looking out searching for him anyway. But I also know that if I want to be deemed attractive or feminine, I don't need to be stalking like Sophia looking for Harpo, you know what I mean, or looking for Seeley. Talk about you told Harpo to beat me. Y'all remember that walk? That was a mean mug, right? You know,
sometimes you be having a hard day.
Exactly. So
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, remember when a man always used to say, "Smile." When you at the store and you see a man, he like you see somebody, you tell somebody to smile. That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, people tell me that all the time. Tell me to smile all the
I
time.
don't like that.
You
I
looking
don't
up
like that. You don't know why I'm not smiling.
to you, not even no female to tell you hi or tell you, "Hey girl, that's on sale." They ain't gonna want to tell you nothing to give you no props or anything because the way you looking, he looks stank. You know what I'm saying? Smile.
Yeah.
When you see somebody smile, they don't smile back. So what? You smiled at them. You did your job. That's what I meant. And K, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. You know me. I'm gonna keep it 100. You know me. I
Uh-huh.
you to dress for somebody. I said, if you out there looking for a man, know what a man wants. If you know likes that, then you gonna get prepared for it. I ain't telling you I ain't dressed for him like this. I'm dressing for K. Yeah. And then you do that and have that mind frame. And if you grow old and die alone, then you know why. I'm telling you the real way. I'm just talking in, not you, I'm talking in general. When you have that mind frame, you have to know what a man wants. Once before you start dating, go talk to a man. Just have a conversation. Just see what they want. Then you be like, okay, I got that down. I did my homework. I'm finna do the work. Man,
Okay.
You know what?
good.
She's right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, Lady Navoa. And it's funny because asking men those questions are how I knew that I wanted to be single for a while. You know what I mean? Like listening and realizing I don't want to do all that right now. Like maybe eventually, but you know, having other things going on, like can you even actually afford to put that into your schedule right now? Like, can I afford to try to go through all this fancy shamancy stuff
Right.
before I walk out the door? Because Mr. Right might see me or not. He might see me when one of my kids are acting a fool, so I might miss out anyway. You know what I mean? It's all good. But I appreciate you making those points because a lot of women don't have that awareness. They just show up like, look, I'm here. You're supposed to want me, and that's kind of not how it works. So I remember Drunk saying that he complimented his woman at the time when she didn't have makeup on, going back to the makeup conversation. Just I guess that kind of positive reinforcement, and he eventually got this particular woman to go to Walgreens without makeup on. It was a big thing at the
I have
time.
a quick question. So are we just focused on the out when you're meeting a guy and just what you look like on the outside? Because don't you want them to get to know you? You shouldn't. I don't feel like you have to just dress up all the time to meet somebody. You can meet somebody anywhere and look like you just had a bad day. Interested to talk to you.
Well, that's the man.
I said that too. I said if you think you look in your worth and a man meet you like that, that is the best. You
That's
know,
what I'm saying. Because they
damn you bad.
Keisha,
it's
hold
all
on,
about.
hold on. Pause. Keisha, your microphone is loud. I feel like you're at my chest. I'm just telling you.
Okay, I turned it down.
All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
She said in my chair.
That better?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not up on it, so
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Keisha, baby.
I don't know what's going on. I'm done. I'm good.
No. I said go ahead and talk.
Now, cutting out, so just go ahead. I don't know what's going on over here.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the chat real quick because strolling through said with some of the ladies in today's age, I suggest men don't go looking for a woman. I mean, that means nobody's ever gonna find anybody, but I'm gonna just leave that there. Scum TV said women should talk to more men about how men are. I 100% agree because a woman cannot tell you nothing about a man unless she got that information from a man. Drunk said, I had to communicate one time that I don't want you to dress like that at the beach every time we go out. Are you controlling? You can't dress like that at the beach. You can't wear makeup. You can't send me text messages. You can't argue with me. You can't tell me about issues in our relationship.
But he's also young. He's also young, though.
He is. He is. He is. Now, have you considered that it's possible that your style of communication might be a little controlling, Drunk?
Right. And
Scum
did
TV
she wear
says, I think you should at least be presentable.
the beach? That's what you need to ask her. Did she wear a bathing suit every time she went to the beach? Because if she did, then yeah, you control it. Because that's what the fuck you wear when you go to the beach.
I mean, and then now I grew up Muslim and we weren't wearing bathing suits. We were most likely wearing shorts to our knees or jeans and, long t-shirts and whatnot. Kind of totally missed that bikini and bathing suit experience as a younger person. So when I got older, I didn't even feel comfortable wearing beach stuff to the beach for a long time. Like I never had a chance to get used to it,
That's why I said bathing suit because I don't wear bikinis either. We not that, but bathing suits or shorts. You know what I'm saying? Or two piece. It don't matter. A bathing suit, swimwear. If she's wearing that to the beach, and you telling her you don't like that she wear that, why? Because of men, like if they looking at her, just applaud and say, "I got a beautiful girl," and she's been on her good behavior, and she ain't out there flirting or making herself out there known. If she just walking regularly, enjoying herself with her bathing suit on, and men they're gonna look at her, especially if you got that shape that you can't hide no clothes you put on. You know what I'm saying? Then be happy if somebody looking at your person. I mean, at your girl or your man. You be like, damn, he is fine. But if they ain't biting back to the bait, then you know you got a good one. You can trust him. Let them look. You know what I'm saying? I told my man, I was like, you can look, but don't stare and don't make it all obvious. You know, you can do your little quick glance. That's it. I don't care. Because you got your eyes. That's what your eyes for. I can't even tell you not to. I would want you to, because if you ain't looking at a woman here and there, and you just not see you looking at me, and I'm gonna be suspicious about your ass.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I definitely want to go back to what Drunk said because he did bring the point home. So basically, he said, I'm not controlling at all. I just don't like what I don't like and will walk away from what I don't like versus trying to make it what you want it to be. I get that. Okay. Strolling through said, nothing like a sexy bathing suit on a woman. Drunk says, I just don't want your ass and titties all the way out every time we leave the crib. I feel you on that. It's like you're fishing. Right. Like you already have a man. I definitely feel you on that.
Right.
But when you said, okay, yeah, I did read your comment wrong. He said, I don't want you dressing like you're at the beach every time we leave the house. Sir, I feel you all the way. Like leave nothing to
imagination.
Nothing to the imagination. That makes sense. Communicate before you ghost, and then you're controlling. No, I just wanted to know because it kind of can come off that way when you're just expressing in that way. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that. But what you're saying is you communicate the issue first, and then if it doesn't work, then you're out. I get that. So Lit Libra, hi Lit Libra, good to see you back, says, I feel like there is freedom that women should have and dress for herself to feel and look good, but there are limitations. I definitely understand that as well. Again, growing up Muslim, there were some serious restrictions that most people would say is a bit much,
Yeah.
But I get that. Some people do go way overboard. They really do.
Still.
Respect yourself. Remember, there's a time and place for everything, as well as what to wear. For example, thong bathing suits. Y'all need Jesus. Yes, I could never.
I don't understand the thong bathing suit. Stand up there for no reason.
Yes, the discomfort all around.
Queen, are you Muslim now still?
I don't practice Islam at this point in my life. I still do hold on to a lot of the values, though. So you're still not going to find me in a thong bathing suit.
Yeah.
Out in public. Or even a mini skirt at this juncture.
Yeah. I want to turn to Drunk. He was like, y'all first say communicate, and then when he said something, then you say controlling. No, we thought you was tripping when she at the beach.
Yeah, I misunderstood your comment.
It was a misunderstanding. No, we didn't mean it like that. Yes, we
Yeah.
still standing on you should communicate, especially if you finna start a relationship. Communicate firsthand what it's all about, what you looking for, tell her your plan, and see if she wants to follow your plan. Because a woman usually follows a man's plan because he's leading. You know what I'm saying? Make sure
If
when you
it's a solid plan, it
say,
gotta be a
I'll send it. But she ain't gonna want to follow your ass if it ain't no good plan. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Want to make sure you.
Especially like if she's been making the plans for so long, it has to make sense, right, lady? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had muted myself. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, because if your plan is the good plan for her to follow, because a woman knows what she wants. She knows a real woman
Yeah.
wants protection. She wants security. You know, the provider. You know what I'm saying? She want to know
Mhm.
handle the pressure, and she will let you make your mistakes and ain't gonna bash you all the time when you make a damn mistake. She gonna let you make your mistake and figure it out. Now you got the ones that's gonna nag you every time you do a mistake and not see if you can get it right or not. No, we women let that man lead. She let them lead, and they make their mistake. She gonna see if he's gonna correct it. You know what I'm saying, or not. That's what you supposed to do as a woman.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that. And it's also funny. Drunk pointed out how we had a miscommunication on a communication episode. It is
Right.
beautiful irony, absolutely. And he also did say, if we're going out for the night, I don't care what you wear. If we're going to the grocery store, like, it can be a bit much. That definitely resonates. Yes, strolling through, that's what happens when you wear a thong or even a regular bathing suit. Sand does have a way of making its way into places it does not belong and
Right.
staying there. Mhm.
And
Yep.
gritty feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible, terrible experience.
I like sand on my
Yes.
feet, not in my butt.
Yeah. It's a great exfoliant.
Up real quick. My cat won't stop by. He wants to eat, so I'm gonna feed my cat and mute myself. Okay. I'm
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
ironic that she said that after sand in your butt. She's like, my cat. I'm like, where's she going with that? I get it. It's a
Yeah.
my
real, it's a
and
real cat.
my bad.
It's a real
Ah,
cat. I'm like, ooh.
oh, so who's playing drunk? If the convo is better than the game you're watching, I'm gonna take it as a compliment, depending on who's playing. Well, we're glad you're here tuning in to our podcast episode today.
So do you feel like men are drastically worse at communicating though? You personally, Sana.
I I think that men have communication flaws that are different than women's communication flaws. Like I said, I know that we tend to be a little bit wordy and persistent about certain things.
Mm,
And from my experience, I can't speak from all men. I believe that men have had a tendency to use less words and not communicate as often or as much as necessary. So I think both of those could stand to be calibrated and balanced for some healthy communication. You know,
right.
um, what I don't like about communication with men that I have experienced is that kind of buildup of something needing to be said and then that explosion when the conversation finally happens.
Yeah.
Because of my past experiences, that triggers my fight or flight response. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm either at you or I'm gone because I don't feel safe anymore, you know? And SCOM TV is correct. We do. We communicate totally differently. And sometimes it just needs to align a little better. Um, Cowboys and Lions on CBS, Packers Commanders on Fox, yeah. Or do you even worry about people not knowing what you mean when you communicate? Very often I do. Okay. So I've always been like this brainiac person growing up, right? And I use words that people don't use. And that's just how I talk. So a lot of times I'm needing to bring a dictionary to the conversation. And I'm not saying that in a shady way. I'm just saying like what the fuck are you talking about? And that's just how it is when I talk. Um, so I may think you got me. You don't even know what I meant. You don't even know what I was talking about. So we're back having the same conversation because I didn't communicate well. and
Okay.
you didn't receive my communication well, you know. But instead of saying I don't get what you mean,
Mhm.
right? You're just glad for the conversation to be over, and that's the end of it. And that's where the breakdown is happening.
I think men are forceful sometimes with them when they communicate, and then I blink out. I'm like, that was just too much force, so I can't even hear it. And that might be from past experiences. Like I said, my dad was a preacher, so therefore, if you're coming at me, I probably blinked out. So we're gonna have the conversation again because I missed it because you were just a little too forceful for me to stay engaged. I don't know if I have any, like I say, everybody has is on the spectrum somewhere, even a little bit or whatever. Somebody should have gave a lot of us a little bit of leeway or some medicine back then because we weren't diagnosed. But I will blank out if you are coming at me saying anything, and then you use like words can bother me more when it's somebody that I'm really close to. Like when a man yells at me, he says, "You're stupid." I know good and well I'm not stupid, but now you said it. Now it's a whole thing. You really think I'm stupid? That's what's happening. So I missed the rest of the conversation because you used the word stupid in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah.
Those
It's a
words.
few things in here. Hold on. It's
Okay.
First of all, Lit Libra brings up a good point. He says men are definitely told not to express themselves as much until they're older.
Yeah.
And I think that everyone tries to make men these hard individuals inside and out from when they're born. To be honest, that's true. And a lot of men start to play into that narrative because that upbringing, and it
Mhm.
just makes it hard to have a basic conversation. How you doing today? What do you mean how I'm doing? What? So Strolling 3 says, I like to ask what the words mean so I can use them. Great idea because, you definitely build up your vocabulary. But Drunk says, it's a terrible thing to admit, but I tend to only communicate everything I hated about our relationship when I'm already mentally checked out of us.
Okay.
That's not a good habit. It's good that you have communicated at some point. I don't know, maybe I would suggest communicating a little earlier before it gets to that point, but I hear where you're going with that. And Scum TV says, yes, women force men into a conversation they usually don't want to have. And as a woman, I'll tell you a lot of time we don't want to have the conversation either. It just needs to happen.
Mhm.
So I don't really want to talk that much at all. So if I am doing this talking, it's something that's not right. And if I stop talking, then I've already checked out of the relationship.
Men and women communicate totally different, right? We're gonna talk with our friends. They're gonna talk with just, their words or whatever. But sometimes they're gonna get in their feelings, like if they mad, happy, or whatever, excited
Mhm.
about something. That's how they roll. But when you talk to a man in every conversation, he's like sound like a complainer, like us. We're like, well, I don't like you do that. That's what we mean about you expressing yourself because you're a man. You know what I'm saying? We don't expect that from you. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So when you communicate, you gotta prepare yourself first. I always do. Think before you speak. When he's speaking,
Mhm.
and you know what the subject is about, already think about what you're going to say so you don't try to say the wrong thing or come off the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people they come out with an attitude, and then a person or woman or female you could talk to your mom like, what's wrong with you? You always hear that. What's wrong with you? That's why a lot of women be like, who hurt you? Who hurt you when we see a man using his as soon as he uses his feelings, we won't be like, who hurt you? Some of the little bougie, who hurt you? Did nobody hurt him? He's finally telling you how he feel, and you ain't never seen that side of him. So let him express how he feel. Men, don't be ashamed to express your feelings, but just
Mhm.
don't do it all the damn time.
Right.
Like, dude, we don't want to hear that shit. You don't want to hear us probably all, but shit, you do. So on our hand, we don't want to always hear because you that man. You the strong. You strong. We don't want to hear you crying all the time.
That's true. That's true. So we're gonna read a couple more of the comments in. Um, you want to read drunks?
Yeah. Hold on. It says another problem with communicating is issues. Sorry, another problem with communicating issues. Let me be concise. Is worrying if I'm making a big deal out of something that's not a big deal. Actually, that's a good point. I think a lot of women can stand to go through that process in our minds as well.
Hmm.
Storm TV says it can need to happen threes. I don't quite understand what that means, but please do elaborate. And Strolling Through says, are we supposed to speak when y'all want men to? Not necessarily when, but just knowing that something needs to be discussed. And again, it's always healthy to be able to walk away and revisit something. Let's see. Drunk says it's tough in a relationship because if I love you, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. And outside of work, I don't season words with salt. So sometimes I just say nothing until I'm done. I see.
Okay.
I understand that. That self-awareness is important. And Lit Libra says, why is it that men don't want to have conversations that can be controversial or questions the way they are thinking? I feel like every conversation is an opportunity to enlighten yourself, increase your mindset, and be able to see different perspectives. I do agree with that balanced comment. Also, not knowing that you're not able to do that, it makes sense to be able to revisit it. So definitely make sure you don't hurt the ones you love with your words. Also, when you have some time, please to go visit my YouTube channel, which is
We
YouTube.
got it.
You got
Yeah,
it?
we got it up.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna put it in there. And
Hmm.
oh, there's my Instagram and my YouTube. Same as QS Queen Sanaa. And my streaming, my music is Queen Sanaa on all platforms. I would love to have you all support. Tell me which song you like the most. Send me a DM. And it's cut off again. It always does that.
Why does it keep cutting off? I don't know why it keeps
I
doing
don't
that to
know.
you.
Yeah.
Well, if you have to replay it, everybody, so you can get the information, she actually said it verbally. That's
Yeah.
her way of communicating, even if it is cut off. The
Yeah.
technology cutting it off, you said it verbally.
Yeah.
We've
Well,
enjoyed everybody's perspective.
yes. Thank
But
you, lady, for joining us on the panel here today.
thank you very much.
Yeah.